Welcome back, True Seeker. A lot of people asking me to cover the terrorist attack in Russia. And funny enough, I have two videos up on it already, but why not a third? And we'll do it better than we've done any of the other videos so far. Again, a lot of you guys do not ever click on my channel and check what content's uploaded. I know what you do. You just wait for new stuff to pop up in the feed. Realize YouTube does not notify you, even if you're subscribed, about a lot of the content I make. It's just a daily struggle over here having people ask me to cover videos or content that I've already put out at least one video on. And right now, again, just it's the most popular request, and there's literally two videos up on it. So the latest headline is at least 133 dead after Moscow terror attack. And just to again remind you a little bit about the number 133, we talked about this number recently in Russia with the big headline about the death of Alexei Navalny, which the West immediately speculated that he was killed by Putin because he's a critic of Putin. And again, he was dead at age 47 on the 47th day of the year, as you'll recall. But as we talked about, that was the 133rd day of Vladimir Putin's age. And if you're new here, Gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. It's very simple. It's elementary. It's ABC is 1, 2, 3. There's 4 base ciphers of the English language, the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology. And I literally have to say that in every video because there's always somebody new here who's never heard of this, even though it's a practice that's thousands of years old. But the word president in Gematria equates to 47 and 133. And we talk about this number a lot with presidents all over the world. The word government is also 133 and 47. Here in the United States, White House also equates to 133 and 47. So ultimately, the point I'm making is 133 is a big government number. Okay. So the headline is stating 133 dead, at least 133 dead, which is not an arbitrary number. So, to go over things we went over yesterday, plus and more to it. The attack was on Crocus City Hall on March 22nd, that infamous date, March 22nd, 3/22/2024. And you can see this building that was attacked. It's going to turn 15 years old later this year, which is interesting because 322 is associated with Yale Skull and Bones, which has 15 new members each year. And this year, March 22nd, 2024, had a 15-date numerology as well. But notice from October 25th, the anniversary of its opening, to the attack on March 22nd was 149 days later. And of course, in Gematria, Skull and Bones equates to 149. Again, their alias is Order 322. And they're out of Yale, which is 322 years old right now. That's why we had Yale as a major underdog to upset Auburn yesterday, which they did. We weren't surprised at all in our community. While the nation's acting like it's the craziest thing ever, it's just the most obvious script ever. But notice also this concert hall is just outside of Moscow, Russia, which equates to 149. And the name of the town that it's actually in is Krasnorsk. I can't say it, forget it. But as you can see, Krasnogorsk. I think I need a speech therapist. Anyhow, notice Skull and Bones is 149 when you run the alphabetic order forwards. Moscow, Russia, and Krasnogorsk, whatever it is one. Both of them are 149 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. Now, if you take the name of that town and apply numerology, it equals 68 instead, as does terror. And let's not forget when we had the Skull and Bones president in office who graduated from Yale Skull and Bones in 1968, the same year 911 was made the emergency dialing code, the same year World Trade Center construction began. Let's not forget how important 68 was, but as we always talk about, the word terror equates to 68. And of course, George W. Bush, the Skull and Bones member, he always called the word terror. The terror. But anyway, it's a 68 thing. 1968 was the year of years. That year has created so much terror in the world. Coronavirus was coined that year. Fentanyl was approved by the FDA that year. Major political assassinations in 68, MLK and RFK. The big flu in Japan that year. Just 68 was the year of years. And what are the odds that these numbers fit in so well? Remember in 1968, when Bush was getting out of Yale Skull and Bones, his father, who would eventually become vice president and president, was in the CIA. And let's also not forget that his father, 11 years to the day of September 11th, 2001, September 11th, 1990, gave a speech about a new world order, a world free of terror. They're blaming this on ISIS. As we know, ISIS is the offshoot of Al-Qaeda. And remember, the CIA funded Al-Qaeda. This is part of the official story from the government that the CIA funded Al-Qaeda, or they were actually the Mujahideen at the time with Osama bin Laden. But the reason the CIA funded them was because they were interfering with the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. Remember? And then they say it backfired because then they became radicalized against America, which led to 9/11, which led to us invading Afghanistan on October 7th, 2001. And then fast forward to October 7th, 2023. And Israel's having their 9/11 on Putin's 71st birthday, 71 days from the Pope's birthday, when, of course, Catholics 71. But, and if you guys weren't here, you can go watch my video from October 4th about why things were going down October 7th. And you can even go back further than that to my video from December 29th, 2022, about why there was going to be major war in Israel in 2023 around the time Yale turned 322 years old. And of course, that war started 2 days before Yale's 322nd birthday. And again, Yale is Skull and Bones. And now here we are on March 22nd. So anyway, we're going to come back to the CIA point in a moment. The other alias for Skull and Bones, again, Skull and Bones goes by the Brotherhood of Death and Order 322. Just notice how Crocus City Hall is 83 and Brotherhood of Death is 83. And again, whole lot of 83 in the news on this day. Catherine, who goes by Kate Middleton, her big cancer news, which we'll come back to because Catherine the Great preserved the Jesuit order in Russia in history. And the Jesuits are the modern day Templars, and Skull and Bones gets their symbolism from the Templars, who are the old Crusaders. And it reminds us that Bush of Skull and Bones referred to the attack in the Middle East after 9/11 as a crusade. But this 83 thing, again, the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83 by the Police. The word murder equates to 83 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. The word murder equates to 79 when you run the alphabetic order forwards. And this attack blamed on ISIS at Crocus City Hall. Notice how Crocus is 79 and 83. It came on the 79th anniversary of the Arab League being formed. The Arab League. And of course, ISIS is the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. But really what it is the CIA, or, you know, another nation controlled by the Jesuits besides the U.S. and, well, most of the nations of the world is Israel. And some people think ISIS stands for Israeli Secret Intelligence Service, which is not that far out there. But with regards to it being the 79th anniversary of the Arab League, remember, this happened on Skull and Bones Day, and the Skull and Bones Order gets its symbolism from the Templars. And again, the Templar cross is in the Jesuit logo, and the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt founded the Illuminati, and Skull and Bones is modeled after the Bavarian Illuminati. But notice, Knights Templar 79, like Society of Jesus, that's the formal title of the Jesuits, like Christianity. And the ongoing feud of the 21st century between the religions. And did I just say the 21st century? The ongoing feud that's been with this world for, you know, more than 1,000 years. Because religion, it's here to control us. It's here to divide us. And it's amazing to me how many people can't figure out this game. With regards to the whole Christian thing and Bush, this attack came 260 days after Bush's birthday. That matters because there's 260 chapters in the Christian section of the Bible, the New Testament. The word religion in English Extended Gematria also equates to 260. But with regards to Catherine, I forgot to put it here. Catherine equates to 83, like Brotherhood of Death, like how pretty much everything in the headlines on March 22nd was 83, including the Riley Strain body being found, who disappeared on the 8th day of the 3rd month. And sadly, we predicted that his 22-year-old body would be discovered on the 22nd of March, the infamous date. But notice Catherine. Again, Catherine the Great saved the Jesuit order in Russia once upon a time. And yesterday was her 74th day of her age. And Moscow has that Gematria 74. It's a reminder that On King Charles' 74th birthday, we woke up to the news of the killings at two different colleges, the University of Virginia Cavaliers and the University of Idaho, where in that case the killings were on Kings Road, and Moscow, Idaho is where the University of Idaho is. But again, Cavaliers are those who fought for King Charles in the English Civil War. So both the killings at the college campuses were highly ritualistic and syncing with King Charles' 74th birthday. If you're new here, 74 is a number of killing. The word killing itself equates to 74. And that's why the World Trade Centers were on the 74th meridian. And it's the real reason 3 of the first 5 presidents died on 7-4. All presidents who had a problem with the Catholic Church and the Jesuits. And that was Jefferson and Adams, who died on the same day in 1826, July 4th, and then Monroe, who died 1,826 days later on July 4th. And if you're new here, a lot of words equal 74. Stabbing equals 74, like the Ides of March, the 74th day of the year, is to remember the killing of Caesar by stabbing. English equals 74, Gematria 74, energy 74, occult 74, Masonic 74. Let's not forget, again, the World Trade Center is on the 74th meridian. A lot of killing there, and then they called the site Ground Zero, which was terminology that came out of the Manhattan Project for building nuclear bombs, because Ground Zero is the point above or below ground where a nuclear, atomic, or a hydrogen bomb explodes. And the word nuclear equals 74, like weapon, again, like energy. And again, what turned those buildings to dust? But yeah, Catherine had the tragic news with the cancer. And again, cancer equals 44, like chemo, like kill, like it was the 44th anniversary of the Georgia Guidestones, which are a pledge to depopulate. And the last line on there is "Be not a cancer on the earth." But it's a reminder that Tisha B'Av's to remember the destruction of the two towers or the two temples, I mean. And then the year of 9/11, 9/11 was 44 days after Tisha B'Av. And Tisha B'Av equals 44, like military, like execution, like kill. So again, these destructive things happening in the world on the 44th anniversary of the Georgia Guidestones, which were sworn monuments to death and genocide. I just talked about that with why Chick-fil-A out of Georgia put out their little message yesterday about how their food's going to become a lot more toxic. But anyway, the 74th day of Catherine's age, and here's the kicker: Catherine the Great. Keep in mind they did this in the time of Ramadan too, right? Ramadan, like most holy time of the year for Muslims. Almost every year they create some kind of thing to create animosity towards Islam during Ramadan. It's like almost every year they do it. But with regards to the actual Catherine the Great, who saved the Jesuit order, notice what day she died, you guys. November 17th, 1796. So that was a leap year. And in a leap year, November 17th is the 322nd day of the year, 322. Adam Weishaupt died on November 18th. That's the founder of the Illuminati in a non-leap year. He died on the 322nd day of the year. Again, Skull and Bones calls itself Order 322 and is modeled after the Bavarian Illuminati, which was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. But the thing is, this I didn't put the screenshot up here. I forgot to put the screenshot up, but this attack, March 22nd, it was 41 days before Catherine the Great's birthday anniversary. 41 days. And you see the 4 base ciphers of Skull and Bones, 149. In case I've overwhelmed you and you forgot where the 149 is, we'll take it to the top. The name of the building that was attacked, the attack came 149 days after the anniversary of its establishment. Skull and Bones 149, Moscow, Russia 149. It happened in the suburb of Moscow in this Krasnogorsk. I don't know how to say it, but the name of the actual town is also 149. And so Skull and Bones 149, Skull and Bones with numerology is 41. We're going to hit the 202 because DC's the 202 area code, and this happened 202 days before Biden's birthday. And then 76. And yesterday in your rigged basketball game for Yale, Auburn, who they beat, had 41 points at halftime. And by the end of the game, Auburn could not score at the end. They couldn't make a lay-in. They couldn't make a free throw. They just couldn't get off 76 points, and they lost the game. And we talk about these numbers all the time with Skull and Bones. George W. Bush was the 41st president, born on June 12th, the day leaving 202 days left in the year. His son born on July 6th. The Georgia Guidestones came down on his 76th birthday on 7/6. 149 goes with JFK, born on the 149th day of the year. That's the 35th prime number. He became the 35th president, only to be assassinated by Interstate 35 in Dallas, established in 1841, where Dallas also equals 41. while number 41 was in attendance. Of course, he wasn't number 41 yet, but he eventually would be. And he's always maintained that, yeah, he was there that day, but he doesn't know why he was there. So, anyway, Skull and Bones numbers all over the place in this attack. 149, obvious. 41 days before Catherine the Great's birthday anniversary, when Catherine's all over the news from the royal family. And then again, one more time, 202 days before Joe Biden's upcoming birthday. And again, DC in the 202 area code. We're going to skip this piece right here. It's not that important, but here, 202 days before Biden's birthday, DC 202. The anniversary of the CIA's establishment, September 18th, to this attack on March 22nd, was the 187th day of the CIA's age. And remember what we said about CIA up here, where this attack happened. The name of the town has the 68 Gematria, which goes with terror. They're saying it's terrorism from the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, which equals Central Intelligence Agency in Gematria. And again, CIA was established in a huge Jesuit ritual once upon a time, September 18th, 1947. This attack on the 187th day of its age. Brotherhood of Death, again, that alias for Skull and Bones, 187. Washington, D.C., 187. Society of Jesus, 187. Holy Roman Empire, which is alive and well within the Catholic Church, which runs this nation, the UK. Again, I mean, all this stuff's part of the same thing. It's the Holy Roman Empire. It's the Roman Catholic Church. It's these secret societies. It's why they gave us the Da Vinci Code series right before 9/11 went down about the Illuminati and the church. It's why Putin just did his very Jesuit ritual with Tucker Carlson, and he began by saying he needs a few minutes to talk history, and then he goes into like 30 minutes of history, beginning with the history of the Catholic Church in his nation. And like we've said a million times, at the end of the day, all these leaders are on the same team, serving that new world order that George W. Bush once talked about. And it's just like you go back and look at the world wars. Supposedly all these leaders, having their people fight against each other, but then they're all taking photos together. There's all the photos in the history book of them all posing together for the cameras. Again, the people of the world need to wake up. They need to stop fighting over religion, nation, all this stuff they fight over, and recognize that the cabal is controlling it all and laughing all the way to the bank. Keep paying our taxes like we're good slaves to these people who lie to us every day, who manipulate us. And people really need to wake up to secret societies. Again, all the evidence is right there for people to research. Instead of just going, oh, I don't listen to conspiracy theories. Oh, I never heard of that. It's like, well, you need to do better research. You need to stop calling everything a conspiracy theory. Again, it's a fact. Like here in the United States, the nation was founded by almost every single founder was a member of a secret society. You look at all these Ivy League schools that all these leaders go to. Those Ivy League schools are rich with secret societies. 2004, Tim Russert asked Bush and Kerry, what are the odds that they're both in Skull and Bones? Order 322, what are the odds of that? And they both laugh about it and say, well, I can't tell you much, Tim. And the next thing you know, Tim's dead, and they have to report in the headlines that he died at 2:23 p.m. Go back and look. They had to tell you Tim Russert died at 2:23. He asked them about 322. And had he not asked that question on Meet the Press, I think a lot less people in the world would be aware of these things. And the clues were there. Again, Paul Walker was in the movie The Skulls right before the second Bush took office. Dies 5 years to the day of George Herbert Walker Bush. Dies in the red Porsche, just like he gets a red Porsche in the movie The Skulls about Skull and Bones. But yeah, I mean, secret societies have been, running this nation from the beginning. There's books out there, like the one by Albert Pike, Morals and Dogma, where he says Freemasonry is based in Kabbalah. Start to read about Kabbalah, you learn there's something called Gematria. You read Kabbalah's Book of Formation, it says in the first paragraph, God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. These people playing God every day. People laughing at the idea of an Illuminati when the first recognized president, George Washington, wrote a letter about his concerns about the Illuminati, which was founded May 1st, 1776, 64 days before America's supposed birthday. All I see is just a nation of ignorant people who like being ignorant, who like denouncing the truth, and who don't really look into anything, and then keep turning on the TV for answers. All the people that like laugh at the work we do over here, where we just smoked March Madness again. They probably filled out their bracket according to what ESPN said, and they probably placed 6 wagers in the opening round based on all the upsets that ESPN sold them. And then they said, "Oh, damn, how did I go 0 for 6?" And then these people that they still got literally shit for brains. They're going to go back to ESPN and take all their fake picks again, like they do to them every day. False information. You watch what ESPN does every day. ESPN's putting out bait, like they're fishing for retards. Just putting out the big bait to try and like get the psychological juices flowing to get the bettors to go out and bet on these teams that they talk about. And almost every day it's wrong. But then these same people, they go back and watch ESPN the next day. They're like, "Well, it can't be wrong again today." Wrong again. Wrong again. ESPN sold the narrative so hard that McNeese would beat Gonzaga and that Samford would beat Kansas. And you just looked at the numbers. It didn't make any sense for either of those teams to win. Plus, it's like Gonzaga absolutely destroyed McNeese. It was over in the first 2 minutes. And the Samford-Kansas game was more interesting. But, yeah, just they sold those picks so hard, and they were so wrong. So it's the same thing from sports to news, just psychologically controlling people, misleading them. And I see we got trolls in the chat. No, plenty of people made good money on the James Madison. We knew James Madison had a great narrative to upset. Adios, troll. It's funny how the trolls just want to come in here. The same troll probably just watched the stream, listening to people talk about, "Oh, yes, thanks, Zach. I made $3,000 so far at the tournament. Thanks, Zach. I made $850 so far at the tournament with your picks. Thanks, Zach. I made X amount." And then they come in here and try to make it look like we're having a bad tournament. Trolls getting paid overtime to lie and fraud. That's why I can't wait till the Georgia Guidestones are fulfilled, because those people are going to be the first to get caught with their pants down. Yeah. These people that come in here and just lie and slander and make up bullshit. And again, it's like, what are you trying to do, moron? Do you not see that I'm exposing the most evil shit going on in the world each day? What, are you just cool with that? What, the cabal pays you $10 an hour minimum wage to come troll? That's why the Georgia Guidestones can't get on fast enough. All right. Anyway, we'll leave it there for now, and hopefully there's no more requests for me to cover the Russia attack, because this literally is the 3rd video on it. So we'll leave it there for now, you guys. Thanks again to everyone who hits the like and the share, and until next time.